Hello once again and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our Lunch and Learn entitled How Digital Transformation Defines the Future of Real Estate. I'm Jason Almendros, Marketing Manager of Infosoft, and I will be your host today. Just a few house rules before we get started. May we request to kindly put our camera on just until the first video is presented so we can, get to know everyone's faces. And please put your mic on mute for a smooth program flow to avoid background noises. You may submit your questions anytime by typing them into the chat box during the presentation, and we'll collect and address them during the Q&A portion. Also, we will be recording the Lunch and Learn from the start until the end of the session. We will send the recorded version to your Outlook email once it's available. So please stick with us for the next hour to discover how digital transformation can impact your real estate business. You may now also enjoy your meals or start ordering using the voucher code we sent to those who registered while we walk you through the program flow. As a quick overview of our interesting topics today, first, we will start by presenting a video highlighting digital transformation for Asian conglomerates. After that, we'll go into the following topics. Live from Kuala Lumpur, the regional channel manager and the head of business development of Acumatica, Mr. Shine Matthews, followed by Acumatica with Real Estate Dimensions video demo. Next on the list is our chief business consultant, Mr. Chris Patong, who will discuss best practices for implementing Acumatica. After the presentation, there will be a Q&A segment where we can tackle your questions with our speakers until time permits, or we will answer them via email. So to optimize the time, the speakers will proceed right after the video. It's going to be a full-packed afternoon, so without further ado, let's begin. We are in a continuing pursuit of helping our customers to achieve digital transformation at a conglomerate scale. At Axeltech, we know how you want to be more effective to save on cost and be more effective in serving your customers. Many industries belong to a group of companies or have vertically integrated operations that seem to be multiple companies in one. Digitally transforming one company is not easy, but digitally transforming a group of companies to collaborate and operate well together is an even more significant challenge. This is what a typical conglomerates look like. For example, the real estate development and construction industry, financing industry, the agro-industrial industry, distribution and retail, and asset-intensive industries like manufacturing, infrastructure, utilities, and mining. If you look at the setup at a surface, they seem to be very different with diverse operations and production processes entirely unrelated to each other. However, we were able to identify three factors that are hindering digital transformation for conglomerates at the same source. The first factor we discovered is that less than 50% of the business processes of Asian conglomerates are supported by ERP systems. The obvious solution is to build the other half. The game plan delivers a micro-industry specific functionality inside a cloud-based ERP, and we believe Acumatica is best suited for the challenge. Typically, ERP product supports business processes of distribution, manufacturing, and construction companies quite well, covering about 80%. However, what about all these other companies? Based on our evaluation, most ERP would still be able to manage financials and inventory, but that would probably be it. For example, the construction and real estate development industry group. We chose the best suited ERP platform we could find and built additional modules inside that ERP platform to address all the missing front office functionality. We made it natively in a very tightly integrated manner that our product would only run inside the ERP platform. For this specific industry group, we call this product RED, or Real Estate Dimensions. What does RED do? RED provides all the functionality that the typical ERP wouldn't have, like property sales, property financing, commissions, and incentives. We also have property management, lease management, work order management, and maintenance management. All those front office functionalities that are usually not included in your typical ERP, we provided inside of Acumatica with Real Estate Dimensions. We have added more products to address the three other industry groups. Since RED already has a property financing module, we took that out. We added more functionality to manage the financing company's front office operation, calling it FINE. FINE stands for Financing Dimensions. We're also introducing other vertical products like Facility and Asset Dimensions for industries like distribution, construction, manufacturing, and mining. Agriculture Dimensions for poultry, swine, plantation, and aquaculture operations. And Advanced Dimensions, suitable for all companies. All these modules are all done inside of Acumatica. They're all native and they all talk to each other. You pay only for the modules that you use. For example, Find is composed of 4 modules, and if you only need one, you don't have to pay for the rest. In line with pricing structures, the second factor that we feel is hindering digital transformation. Typically, less than 20% of the employees have access to the ERP systems because of the per-user-based licensing structures commonly charged by the vendors. The obvious answer is to have a modern, growth-friendly licensing suited for conglomerates with many users, and that is where Acumatica comes in. Acumatica is the only one of the major global ERP players that have no per-user fees. You don't pay for each user and only pay for your system's overall resource. All employees can now use your ERP systems and digitally transform your organization. You can extend its use to your key partners, providers, suppliers, and customers. In a conglomerate setup, these key suppliers or customers are often members of a group of companies. What we are trying to accomplish is that you don't need to pay more for competing solutions with lesser functionality. Acumatica plus Axeltech's Dimension portfolio, the cloud ERP for conglomerates. Through Acumatica, Axeltech offers industry-specific solutions called Dimensions. These are Acumatica with Real Estate Dimensions, Acumatica with Financing Dimensions, Acumatica with Facility and Asset Dimensions, Acumatica with Agriculture Dimensions, Acumatica with Advanced Dimensions. These are very common models typical companies should have. The third factor that hinders digital transformation is the outcome of the first two factors. When you don't have a complete set of functionalities, you usually need to buy additional systems. It's costly to develop and maintain multiple application integrations. The solutions would be to have micro-industry specific functionality. When you need to do application integration, it might as well be on a future-proof platform with a modern API architecture. The cloud ERP of Acumatica has that platform, and that is why we choose Acumatica. Because of their licensing and advanced technological platform, it's born in the cloud. This is an illustration of the expensive application integration currently being used. ERP, your traditional ERP system of record, systems and operation software if you have a back office supporting front office system, digital commerce, your systems of innovation. And this is how a typical financing company operates using multiple digital systems. You have a separate ERP system, CRM, loans management, RAPOA, asset management, and payroll. Since multiple SOP systems are being used, you need BI reporting tools to correlate the information obtained from different software systems and mine for more details. The ERP service provider usually provides integration at a cost. It is expensive and depends on the scope of work. Example are these summaries, simple recording to ERP to capture by the financial statements. It depends on how extensive the integration of information will determine the cost. Eventually, these systems will have new versions. Even ERP will upgrade every year. It is advisable for customers to do upgrades for security reasons and to utilize new features that will help improve productivity. Since these are multiple systems, the failure rate is high every time you upgrade your ERP, and the chances of a two-way integration will likely fail. They will end up paying your provider for a successful integration attempt, or worse, manually access this information, which will take a lot of work and a questionable data credibility. When an upgrade happens on the digital commerce side, it will likely affect the effectiveness of integration and will likely fail in the end. In short, upgrades of systems from different software sources impact the integration process. It is messy, costly, and likely to fail. Ideally, the way to address this would be Acumatica with financing dimensions. You have your ERP and systems on the operations side. All the systems explained about financial dimensions are already there and attach your digital platform to the ERP systems, and it's just like talking to one system. It's easier to maintain, easier to train users, and cost effective. These are the three factors we have identified, and we can address these challenges that any conglomerate is currently facing. Our range of dimensions, vertical solutions in various industries enhances your Acumatica experience. Axeltech, accelerating digital transformation.
Morning, everyone. I hope everyone can see me. My slides are showing up as well.
Yes, it is showing.
Perfect, great. Thanks a lot, Jason. All right, so let's get into it. I'm really amazed with the video that was shown earlier, and it perfectly encapsulates everything that is about Acumatica and our partnership with Infosoft, Axeltech. It's amazing with what solutions have been developed within the Acumatica framework by Axeltech team. And we are looking forward to seeing a lot more features and functionality that is coming out from Axeltech in the Philippines. All right, so I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Shine Matthew. I run the channel business for Acumatica in the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, India, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Personally, I live in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I travel quite a lot. In fact, we were stuck for 2 years not traveling. Once the travel restrictions were lifted, the first country definitely I visited was Philippines. It is really great to be back in Manila, meeting up with all my friends, especially the partners who I consider my friends, and catching up with everyone. And I'm looking forward to come back again. So I'll just run through a little bit of Acumatica's corporate overview, which kind of like seamlessly goes in line with what the video was shown earlier. How we have realized that digital transformation has become a very big, significant requirement for all companies globally. It's something that all companies should strive for right now, and technology is evolving at such a rate that transforming your business to adopt with this technology is become a big requirement. Why is that? We have seen this in the last 2 years where economies were affected due to pandemic. These are things which we cannot, forecast for, you can't control, but you need to think about how a business can be resilient when it comes to these sort of situations. And this is where Acumatica comes up with our cloud ERP solution, where we are thinking about always how a company can have connected business on the same platform. Integrations. How do we integrate with third-party solutions, which is needed for your business? Collaboration. And this is very significant during the last 2 years where most businesses have moved towards work from home kind of process. It is still continuing. If you've noticed, a lot of companies are still retaining that same model. They've realized that it made more sense to go towards a work from home or a hybrid model to run your business. And collaboration, running on different sites, people working from home, this is where it comes from. Where how can you use a solution that you can all work on it at the same time from different locations? Resiliency, though business is affected due to certain reasons, you're still working, you're still having your job, you're still having your business to run. It's how resilient can you be? Do you have a platform that is there delivered for you, which allows you to be resilient during any kind of pandemic or any kind of ups and downs that comes up? Future proof, how what do you invest in? It makes a big difference, right? When you invest in something, it's not just this for the short-term reason. It's always for the future growth of your business. But you need to have a platform that grows along with you. If you're stuck with something which is not future-proof, your investment doesn't make sense, right? You're stuck with something which does not allow you to grow your business as well. And this is where Acumatica comes in, where we are trying to deliver. We are delivering, in fact, all these related factors that is, relevant towards having a resilient business. Now, it's not about us talking about Acumatica. It's also about, the feedback that comes from different customers that we have globally. As you can see here, we have always been ranked the highest when it comes to satisfaction by our customers, because we always want to see that, satisfied customers at the end of the day is what we're looking for. It's not just any business that we are saying, it's because end users of a customer are the ones using the system daily. If they are not happy, then you are not happy. As an organization, you will not be happy as well. And this is where we are. We are always at a ranked in the highest quadrant for momentum leaders, as you can see here in G2 surveying. Not only that, we always look in terms of usability as well. End users, companies who have users who are using Acumatica, they are happy using Acumatica. They're so happy with the UI of Acumatica. They are navigation for different modules that are there. This is what we're looking at always. We have always been on a journey where initially when the UI looked good, but then we just kept on evolving it because we always value customer feedback, how to improve this and make it more usable. In terms of awards, we have always been awarded named the best cloud ERP solution, best manufacturing, best ERP software, period. Not only that, as I said earlier, we've always been ranked highest when it comes to satisfaction usability, not just G2, but also even in Gartner. So you can check it out. We have a lot of awards and analyst reports which you can refer to know about Acumatica in detail. In terms of presence, Acumatica is an American company. Our head office is in US, is in Washington D.C. We have regional offices definitely in Asia. I live in Malaysia, like I mentioned. My boss lives in Thailand. I have colleagues in Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines as well now, and also in Sri Lanka. So we have a big support center and R&D as well, which is set up in Colombo in Sri Lanka, which is growing like every week. So we have more and more people that is joining the company then. Overall, though I say American, we are owned by a private equity company in Sweden called EQT, which is I think the sixth largest private equity company in the world right now. So they own us 100%, and this is one of the amazing things about Acumatica because we have been growing so significantly every year that a private equity company, which always values growth, is reason why they acquired us. It's because of our growth. Now, in addition to having resellers, like how Infosoft is a reseller in the Philippines, Axeltech is an ISV partner. Acumatica also has what we call OEM partners. And there are a few partners like, for example, MYOB. So if you've been in the accounting aspect of the business, many of you might know what MYOB is because it's a very famous small accounting software. And so MYOB has an ERP as well in Australia and New Zealand. And it's called the MYB Advanced Edition, which in fact is Acumatica itself. They have decided to not develop their own ERP. They have invested, or you could say, bought the OEM rights from Acumatica to white label it as MYB Advanced Edition in Australia and New Zealand. Similar to that, we have Sensoft, which is Century Software in Malaysia. It's a public listed company here, quite famous because they do only government sector projects. In Malaysian government sector, any IT projects or software projects that come up, it's usually always Sensoft. Right as of right now, Sensoft has deployed Acumatica as rebranded as branded as Sensoft GRP 9.0 for 88 Malaysian government bodies here right now, as of now. And it's been quite significant the way they've rolled out. The reason why I'm showing this is because MYB and Sensoft, they have banked their investment into MYOB as a platform. They trust the platform, the strength of it, and that is why they have utilized it to promote their own brand name on it as well, which shows value, right? If you think about it, you would not put your name on some other product unless you know the value it brings and the benefit it brings as well to the end customer. Right. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, Infosoft is a reseller of Acumatica in Philippines. I keep always saying this because Acumatica does not do anything directly with any customer. We always work 100% through our local partners in every country. And like, for example, so Infosoft is a gold certified partner. In fact, it's the biggest partner, if I'm not wrong, in terms of customer base and value to us in Asia, the biggest in Asia itself, not just Philippines, in Asia itself, to Acumatica Infosoft. And so we have around 350 plus resellers globally, similar to that. In addition to that, we have what we call independent software vendors. Independent software vendors are those who see the platform, they understand there are more features and functionalities that is not there in Acumatica, but would be preferred, would be good to propose to an end customer. And these ISVs are the ones who develop solutions in the Acumatica framework. They build niche products as such, and then they have a product that is built on it, and it's even certified by Acumatica team. And this is a good example of Infosoft being not just a reseller, but also being an ISV partner of Acumatica through Axeltech, which is their sister company. And Axeltech's primary focus is developing solutions like what the video showed earlier, right? As you can see, is the real estate dimensions, the finance dimensions. So there are different products that they have developed and released in the Acumatica framework. Not only that, the ISV ecosystem is quite huge for Acumatica. As you can see, there are like a lot of ISV partners because as a company, when you're using an ERP, you would love to extend the functionality that is there. You do not want to be restricted by a silo solution where you can add on more and more products or solutions along with it, which work seamlessly as well, and it addresses your requirement. As you can see here, Real Estate Dimensions is also part of our ISV ecosystem, and it's one of our best solutions, ISV product as well in Asia. It's not just in the Philippines. In fact, Axel Tech is actually getting have a lot of resellers of Acumatica in other Asian countries as well, who is marketing and promoting their product for other countries. In fact, we have one or two customers in Malaysia itself who is actively that is working with Axel Tech for this. So, what are our differentiators? And it's always good to understand this, like how the previous video showed, right? There are three factors when you think about having an ERP solution. What is Acumatica's differentiators when you think about it? So three things is about future-proof platform. I mentioned this earlier. How you can have a solution of a platform, but also have the features and functionality that addresses your requirement, not at this moment, but also for your growth. And thirdly, and this is very, very close to what we believe in always as well, is how ethical can be our business practices. How you as a company can believe or trust in Acumatica to deliver what is there, and also have a constant, ever-growing relationship together during term of your using Acumatica for your business. Our platform is future proof in terms of not just being like having a platform itself, but also having to open it up to other solutions as well. As you can see here, we have so many third-party products which are integrated with Acumatica. And this is just a small example of what the integrations can cater for. One of the biggest example would be Salesforce.com. Salesforce is an industry leader when it comes to CRM sales. And when you think about it, Acumatica has CRM as well. But there are a lot of companies out there who has invested in Salesforce.com for their business. We would never ask them to replace it because can't compete because Salesforce is a niche solution that is catered for it. And what we always believe in is to work together with Salesforce to to help the company that is using both solutions. And why restrict a company when they can use multiple solutions? At the end of the day, it should come back to the ERP. And this is what we are looking at always. The value that comes to a company is to use Acumatica with any third-party solutions that you might use. Accessibility is crucial. As I mentioned earlier, remote collaboration is one big aspect of business right now, where most companies are working on a hybrid model. I have a few friends from the banking sector. You don't think much about banking when you think about work from home. But the banks have multiple divisions, it is not just retail, brick and mortar branches that are there, but also treasury management, risk assessment. These are, workforce which are not necessarily needed in the office itself. And, I spoke to a company that my friend who works with Standard Chartered Bank. He does not go to the office. He works from home, and it's been ongoing ever since the pandemic was over. In Malaysia, we're in endemic phase. There's no need for him to be at home, but the business has evolved in such a way where the banks itself have decided certain significant workforce are allowed to work from home. And this means you need to have accessibility to the same system. And Acumatica delivers on that. We are a browser-based ERP. And the only thing you need is a browser, a web browser to use Acumatica. Not just that. It's not about using it on a laptop or a desktop. It's also using it on your mobile phone because mobility is a ever fixed component of our lives right now. Every day we are using a phone for everything. And having an ERP on your phone is just adds more advantages, all right, when you have accessibility. And this is where we're looking at, like having accessibility on any device from anywhere. Functionalities and features, obviously, for us, we believe in having a solution where all the modules are connected to each other. There are a lot of ERP players out there who have silo solutions, like, for example, a CRM solution which is sitting on its own. But then you have an ERP of the same product which is running on its own as well. You need to connect these two together. Acumatica doesn't believe in that. For us, we feel that the relevant modules that are there for your business all should sit within the same solution itself, the same application. And this is why when you look at the core features or core modules of Acumatica, it comes with whatever is needed to start a business. You have financials, inventory, if project accounting is needed, CRM, which is customer management, and if your business needs it, then field service or service management as well. I always make a comment here because when I show this slide to many of my, when I show presentations, if I remove the Acumatica name from it, it pretty much represents any generic ERP, most ERPs that you can think about. But since we released Acumatica, we have also moved on towards understanding that not all customers are the same. Every customer is unique in the way that they do their business, and it is based on the industry that they are focused on. And we cannot just go like a traditional ERP and showcase it saying that, yeah, anything fits for your business. It doesn't work like that anymore. A construction company is very, very specific. There are a lot of things involved in construction, which a generic ERP cannot follow. It doesn't allow you to do that. It's the same thing with manufacturing. There are a lot of components in manufacturing, complexities are involved in it, which a generic ERP cannot address. And this is where Acumatica has thought that going industry vertical based, it brings more value to a customer as well, because they can see that these additions fit the business requirement. Ethical business practice, I like to mention, it sits in our heart that we think about always how our customers should be protected as well. And this is why what we call a customer bill of rights, as like how, which you're in Philippines, as a citizen, you have your rights as a citizen. For Acumatica, we believe that our customers should also have their own rights as well, similar to how you would be as a citizen of your country. And these are the rights that are already specific. It's not open interpretation. It's very, very transparent. You can understand it when you see it, because the idea behind it is that as a customer, when you have Acumatica for your business, we should know, you should know what my rights are when it comes to using it. And this is where we come from. Like having an ethical business practice like this allows a company to understand what they are looking for as well. In terms of deployments, a lot of companies are there who love SaaS, and I love to talk about SaaS. In fact, most of the customers that we have in the Philippines are on public cloud, Acumatica Cloud. But there are a significant few which actually think that I do not want to go on cloud because of compliance reasons. For example, they say that they want to go on their on-premise or their own server, or probably even a data set that they have locally. Uh, it's not a problem, because as a customer, you can decide which option to go with. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to go on SaaS. You have the choice to go on private cloud as well. We have a lot of companies which are there in the financial sector who say that, to be in compliance, they need to be on premise kind of deployment. Not a problem. As I said, it is always a flexible option for customers. In fact, we have a lot of customers who start on private cloud, that is on premise, and after a few years realize that it actually doesn't make sense to manage this all by myself. I might as well move to public cloud or Acumatica Cloud. And to move or migrate like that, it's seamless. There is no complexities involved, but the reason is because the version running on Acumatica Cloud and on private cloud are exactly the same. There's no difference in this. And that is where our biggest strength lies in right now. Right. And the previous more video explained this, so I don't want to elaborate too much because they've explained it very well. But our Acumatica's licensing is not based on users. It's a big change, right? When you think about it, because most solutions or applications that you buy as a software, it's always based on number of users that you have. But Acumatica decided to move in a completely different direction, because for us, we feel this limits an organization to have their users using the same system. When you think about having per user based licensing, you tend to think a little bit pessimistically, because you think that I do not want to invest because it's so many users in my organization. The cost is so high. Most of the customers who think about user based licensing will never give the full number, though they might need 100 or 50. It'll always be on a lesser side when you request a license. The reason is because it's cost, right? You think about it, it's always expensive to invest in it. For us, we believe that this should not be a hindrance for you to make a decision like that. When you want to have an ERP solution, which is supposed to address or cater for all business units that you have, all divisions or departments that you have, when you don't have a restriction like user-based licensing, you allow all employees to use the same solution. It opens up more flexibility as well. It opens up more productivity as well. And this is where we come from, because we believe our company should allow all users relevant to the business to use the same product or same solution for their business. In terms of support, it's traditionally, it's always been a partner locally who is providing support. Yes, it is same. Like it's still the same because Infosoft would be your first level of support when it comes to Acumatica. In addition to partner support, Acumatica also provides what we call direct support. So, which is why we have this dual layers of support for all customers globally. So, which allows you to even reach out to Acumatica directly if you have any questions or you have some doubts how this is done. You can do it. And as a customer, this is what you get. It is included as part of your license subscription. You don't need to pay separately for it. It's all part of the package itself. And this is one big topic that I love to elaborate on because uh, most companies love when they implement Acumatica or any ERP. One of the biggest challenges they always face is when it comes to training their staff to use the solution. Or the problem comes up where your trained staff during implementation, you have trained people. Some of them leave the company. It happens, people leave, they move on to different jobs, and then you need to, rehire, and then you need to retrain again. So these are things which always impacts the usage of an ERP. And this is why Acumatic has always provided what we call an open university. This university is exactly the same that what a partner like Infosoft or an ISV like AxelTech would use for their training, internal training. The only difference we hear is that there's no certifications in the Open University, but the main point here is that it makes you as a customer or a company more self-sufficient. So you do not have to depend on a partner or a vendor to keep training your people. And your open university allows you to be more independent and, rely on your own team members itself to learn more. So our commitment to success, it's one always a big indicator that we look for. Right? We have this what we call a net promoter score, which is NPS. We always send out a survey twice a year, and not only in addition to getting an understanding of how the partner is implementing or supporting you, we also want to hear what you have to say as a company. So, for example, you are a customer of Acumatica, you would get the survey questionnaire twice a year. And the idea behind it is to know that how happy you are with using Acumatica and how happy or likely are you to promote Acumatica to another company as well. And for this reason, we have been scored very highly. As you can see, we are plus 32. Industry standard is always around plus 25, 27, and we are always quite high. Even for Infosoft, it's the same. The customers that they have is always been existing happy customers referring other companies to them. Why would you refer if only unless you're happy, right? So that's the whole point. So customer satisfaction in terms of support for us is not just for the partners, but Acumatica support. We've always been ranked highly. And finally, we are the fastest growing cloud ERP company as of now. I mentioned earlier, right? We got acquired by a private equity company. The reason why a private equity company would buy an organization like us is because our growth trajectory. We have been growing so fast and so highly that they acquired us. And it's still the same. We have never ramped down. In fact, during the pandemic, we have grown quite fast as well and highly as well, especially in Asia. Right. So you would think that not for all industry, but for us, Acumatica, we grew quite much, and it's all because of partners like Infosoft, right? Because of the effort. All right, and I just want to end that saying that we have more than 8,000 customers worldwide. In fact, this number is a little bit outdated. It came from a few months ago, so I'm assuming we are like near to 8,500 to 9,000 already right now. All right, thank you very much for your time. I'll pass it back to you, Jason.
Go ahead, Jace. Realizing development is a constant work in progress. You must align your strategy with technology to thrive and take it to the next level. Many property developers have vertically integrated operations from land banking, feasibility studies, design, permits, project financing, reselling, construction, sales, credit and collection, property management, resale or repossession to property valuation and sale. But without an integrated ERP system, they face several challenges, including delay in the flow of information decision making, data redundancy and errors make the information seem unreliable, lack of departmental collaboration from sales and marketing, operations and finance to IT, poor customer service due to the slow response time to their needs, difficulty in compliance and risk management, weak internal controls due to data inaccuracy, and lack of data security. Every real estate business knows the ever changing demand for driving digital capabilities. Our goal is to understand your challenges and provide custom built solutions specific to your needs. Introducing Acumatica with Real Estate Dimensions, a custom built solutions to the entire real estate lifecycle. Let's begin with the pre selling of the property. Marketing conducts lead generation activities like mall exhibits, print ads, social media, or billboard advertisements. With proper business insight, sales and marketing can make intelligent decisions in allocating resources to generate more leads. When potential leads are converted into opportunities, agents and brokers can quickly do on the spot proposal computations and sales contracts. And to track your team's performance, you can utilize a CRM to respond to customer needs and monitor progress anytime, anywhere. This is the proposal computation within real estate dimensions. I could generate an amortization schedule with a single click of a button after entering the initial investment, percentage, and terms. This proposal computation can be converted into a reservation containing the same information and for which I can generate a reservation agreement form. Acumatica with real estate dimensions, enhancing the customer experience with property buyers. I now have the requirements tab on the reservation screen. The documents the buyer must submit before this reservation can be converted into a contract are listed here. I have the action convert to contract selected in the actions button. In Acumatica, this is the sales contract and I need to remove it from hold and release the transaction. You want a highly motivated team? Providing attractive incentive schemes using automated sales commissions computation and on-time release encourages them to close more deals in the future and make your business successful. You can use RED to create various commission schemes and commission sharing. You can release commission regularly or whenever a payment milestone has been complied with. Click the Create Commission button in the sales contract screen and define the payment percentage required to trigger the commission. Release, save, and process. Similarly, there is no need to keep a separate spreadsheet to track incentives and who qualifies. You can create various incentive plans and conditions with RED. Create an incentive to distribute the bonuses to salespeople who meet the criteria. Once the property is turned over to the buyer, the entire property can be maintained and operated using an integrated platform. Acumatica with real estate dimensions allows you to quickly generate real-time data for demand letters and payments with penalties. For meter reading, property managers can easily split and charge utility bills to properties that share utilities based on meter readings. It automatically charges tenants for occupied properties and owners for unoccupied properties. Input the current meter reading and it will compute the charges for each property. An invoice is also automatically created for each property upon successful processing. For account statements, notifying customers about outstanding balances is simple in Acumatica. A customer statement report is generated when you process a print statement. You can print it, export it to PDF or Excel, or email it directly to the customer. Acumatica with real estate dimensions allows you to generate insights, reduce risks, and keep projects on budget during pre-development. Optimized by using real-time data on all sales reports, provides cash flow insights to ensure the property's timely completion, from monitoring the annual budget and determining potential risks to spotting potential investments. Have a 360-degree view of your business and make an intelligent decision by utilizing a graphical representation of your data in the system. In this example, I have the management dashboard displaying my profit trend, deal size trend, inventory trend, and contract terms. I also have a graph that shows me my sales by period and person, including a chart that compares my actual and budgeted income over years quarters, the single for my actual versus budgeted expenses. You have an integrated view of your cash position for real-time and up-to-date reporting and accurate forecast trends, including detailed cash transaction statistics on demand. As the controller, I have access to the following information: cash on hand and cash needed to meet my obligation in the next 30 days. Moreover, I have a graph that shows my cash position over a specific period and a comparison of my income and expenses. Acumatica offers all functionality for modern sales-driven organization to leverage digital innovation to address challenges, adapt to change, and build a customer-centric culture. Align your business strategy with technology with all of the front office functionalities. Acumatica with real estate dimensions. Takes leaders and teams from all functional departments to future-proof your business throughout the real estate lifecycle. Manage your entire leadership team confidently and gain real-time insights into how each department functions to identify minor issues before they become a problem. Gain control with a 360-degree view of your organization. Acumatica with real estate dimensions. Financial Leaders is a financial management system that delivers visibility and efficiency to ensure financial statements are accurate, budgets are prepared, and books are closed quickly. Acumatica with real estate dimensions. Financial insights at your fingertips. Operations leaders strive to increase productivity, lower costs, and improve quality to ensure that the company operates at peak efficiency. Create a better, faster, and more effective operation. Acumatica with real estate dimensions. IT leaders in today's business environment requires everything from maintaining the organization's technical equipment to keeping abreast of the latest technology tools and trends to forecasting budget and staffing demands. Simplify the business side of information technology. Acumatica with real estate dimensions. Our flexible deployment and growth-friendly licensing puts customers first and are ready to scale with your changing needs. Tailored to your needs and ready to transform with your growing business. A born in the cloud platform designed to integrate how you work with technology that connects your business across time and distance. Designed for the way businesses operate today and in the future. Acumatica with real estate dimensions.
Good afternoon, Jay.
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, good.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, I will share my screen.
Go ahead. All right.
All right, Jay, can you see my screen?
Yes, take it away.
All right. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Chris. Yes, an implementation consultant of Acumatica, also, no, with our client and with my client in Cebu. So this is just a short experience and share to everyone, no, on how we successfully implement the solutions in our group of companies. All right. I am their chief project consultant. So the situation before we implement the solutions, of course, it will go through, no, the process of selection. So we check all solutions ERP available in the market like SAP, Dynamics, and other solutions. And then I came across meeting with Acumatica team, with Infosoft. So, and then we discussed the requirement. So based on the solutions that was presented to us, it really addresses, especially on some in aspects of investment, especially one solutions that we are looking for the entire group of companies. So the current situation that we have, I will just share that to you, to all of you, and what will be the business impact and then the recommended solutions after the evaluations. And then at the end of the day, the investments or savings when we use the system. So the current solutions with our project, no, with the companies, we don't have, we have one system that will encode only the AP. It's more on vouchering, and then the rest, especially on the operation side, it's manual. So the concerns of having an effective or accurate data. So that's a very big concern, especially releasing of SOAS every month if you are maintaining thousands of accounts, no, um, with equities, those things, and then processing of those papers to the requirements for the bank loans and etc. The inconsistency of the data is a big concern. And then we're very dependent with the people that we have. Of course, we need to trust them, but at the end of the day, we're looking at how to streamline our process to make it faster, no, and the effects of the customer service performance. If the customer will request for, like for example, changing of their due dates, so it will take time. The customer will, fall in line. It will take number of hours to process those things and then the approvals. It's very time consuming and costly to produce reports at the end of the day. So when it comes to data, of course, the security of the data, since everything is on premise, duplication of data entry, lalo na ito, this area. So we have a lot of concerns. Delayed on the action and decision. So it will take time, no, a month sometimes, to decide on a certain thing na dapat hindi tumagal. So those are impacts on the businesses because I am also part of the business excellence. No, we are also implementing streamlined processes, ISO, and etc. So we see everything on how to resolve and make an accurate impact to the business. So we decided after the evaluation, we decided to implement Acumatica Cloud ERP with the following modules, no? The financials, project accounting, especially to handle all the projects that we have, cost codes for projects, because on every project we created cost codes and it's links to each modules, approval matrix, budget, especially if you're going to release an item that is based on BOM. So ginagawa namin yon. Once na exceeded na siya dun sa BOM, a specific project, like for example in one house, so you will see the approval matrix, either it will go through or not, no? But kami, pag exceeded na siya, like for example, 10 bags of cement and exceeded siya doon, sa 10 bags ang request nila, hindi i-allow ng system. So we have two types of approval in implement, quantity and the amount upon request. So the compliance, when it comes to compliance recording of the reports, compliance to the local governments, LGUs, lahat ng compliance when it comes to applications and deadlines, we use the Acumatica compliance module to monitor everything. And of course, industry integrations to vertical solutions that we have. And then part of the package, the real estate dimensions to address from the CRM or the entire operations of the real estates, the front end, because this is the heart of the business. From the CRM, so our sales people can go anytime, anywhere, and see the inventory and have an online reservation. So in partnership din yan, no, with the payment gateways and the banks also. So part of the implementation as going after go live, we implemented yung e-commerce na side. For the customers can pay online, the flexibility, and also internal support on the customer service side of the company. We can generate and give them the accurate report. And then the linkages of their postings of their payments. And then property management also that will handle the HOA and leasing side. Payroll system. Philippine taxation is very important in compliance to the train law, no? Train law, comply tayo doon. We implemented that also. And the CFM, the cash fund management, we're very heavy on the cash fund management, maintaining the petty cash, revolving fund in all sites, project sites, even the different departments. So we give accountability to everyone, to all of our employees, na they can perform a request petty cash online using the system, and then the the person who is handling the cash, so siya yung magre-release doon. And that person, a custodian, can now monitor kung sino yung mga hindi nagle-liquidate or hindi nagpa-process ng kanilang reimbursement and etc. So it has also a request for payment, yung CFM, na we're very happy to address that, especially yung mga hindi dumadaan ng PO because there's a request for payment, especially on the utility side. The real estate, I just want to highlight, no, the punch list, it's already there. We can also, we have some in-house financing because the other companies that we have, because we're a group of companies, no, to save cost on the licensing. So we implemented yung in-house financing to our subsidiary, sa lalo na doon sa memorial area namin na business. So this is a sample screenshot of the Acumatica, and it is mobile. So our people, since right now, no, hybrid tayo, our operations is hybrid also. We work from home, some of our people, and then the other, sa minsan naman yung iba na sa opisina. So per schedule tayo, and then the project site. So we can access and approve any request that requires approval, and we can also request anytime. So everything is mobile. You can use your laptop, tablet, or mobile phone to do that. And of course, monitoring of the project, tawag dito, project progress, we do it in a mobile. No? Doon sa mga project site engineer namin, naglalagay sila ng progress ng construction para mababanggan namin siya doon sa billing naman ng subcon. So where we can monitor the performance of our subcontracts uh, na companies. So when it comes to timeline and by additional value, no, we implemented the system within a year. We started by phase. No? Phase 1 is the distribution side, meaning these are the financials up to the inventory WMS side. And then after a few months, naka-go live na rin tayo sa real estate na side. From the CRM down to HOA, homeowners and property management. Also, all the documentations that we did because we need to comply for our quality management 9001 ISO 9001 compliance. So documentations based on that standard compliance, functional processes and forms and reports, and then the standard also in preparation to the CAS for us to apply computerized accounting system to BIR. So lahat ito we implemented. No. So at the end of the day, we save costs on the licenses because it's unlimited user, and we use it to the whole group of companies because the goal is to have a consolidation at the end of the day. The holding can now see the performance of each business units. So alam naman natin sa accounting yun the eliminations of entries, etc. No? So it really saves us. Nasa more than 100 users to 200 something. If you're going to acquire licenses, sobrang mahal. And then it also help us streamline yung ating processes sa company, yung mga due to JUPRAM, auto, POSO, those things, no? So it has an entry already na ipaprocess na lang natin. Real-time inventory, yes, in all project sites and multi-warehouses. It really lowered the rollout services because as the first company that we implemented, we also built no, a team that will roll out to the other business units. So of course, with the partnership of our provider, Infosoft, to give us the training as part of the engagement and also yung continuous support for the implementation and rollout. So what we achieved, of course, at the end of the day, maximizing the value of the information that we implemented, that we've got, all the reports, um, all the setups, compliance, and now all the team, our people can now work smarter. We call it work smarter because we can work anytime, anywhere. Even our big bosses, no, na meron siyang for approval, nasa Boracay siya, wala siyang choice kundi to access to the internet and then approve. So it is very cost effective when it comes to administration of the system, license cost investment, and other areas that we streamline the processes and then transfer the people, yung mga redundant processes namin, it eliminates talaga. And also compliance to our ISMS and data privacy in compliance with the ISO 9001 QMS standard. So we also comply yung Data Privacy Act manual. So lahat yun hinihingi, piniprepare, and we are compliant with that. So that's it for my share, Jason. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sir Chris. Thank you also,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Shine Matthews, for your presentation, Sir Chris. We have a few questions here. For those who would like to raise your questions, please use our chat box. But also, in the interest of time, we may probably just answer them back also via email. But first, I think this is for
Yeah.
you, Sir Chris. Question here is, can you elaborate further and things in terms of savings from your previous ERP to now to your current ERP? So how significant it is? Can you elaborate that
Okay.
further?
Yeah. Number one, savings. It really helps us streamline, no, the number of heads of the people. Well, at the end of the day, as a business, we need to look into all the processes, especially redundant processes, no, na preparations of, for example, preparation of the SOA, statement of account. So since manual yon, so maghuhugot ka pa ng data doon sa sino yung nandun sa AR, sa payment, aantayin mo pa ano nangyari nito, saan to binayaran, saang bank. So alam mo yung pabalik-balik yung mga ginagawa naming um, checking of data, especially on the payment side. And then inaccuracy of the report of the statement of account, nagagalit yung customer. Maraming factor. And then when it comes to operations, it has a lot of factors na that really address after the implementation of Acumatica. And then also, yung approval, no, how fast we react doon sa isang concern or request. So the approval, ang bilis. Kahit nasa labas yung isang manager, he or she can access and then approve and then can also attach or see the attachment of for his or her approval. Tapos yung tawag nito, um, yung mga notes, very important also. When it comes to cost, no, after the implementation, that is where we started computing, of course, headcount, no, how much the salary that we save, how fast we reacted to our customer,
Mhm.
um, yung response time sa customer to address the issue, the number of issues na na-address namin na mas mabilis, to lower the number of issues and concerns to our buyers, no? Big factor yun. At the end of the day, happy customer yung tinatarget namin na if they have concern, we can immediately react, address, and
Okay.
raise to a specific department kung kaninong may problema. We also include their KPI of all our team, no? The
Mhm.
KPI of our team uh, it really plays kumbaga the role, no, of quality excellence or excellence operations.
All right.
Of course, hinay-hinay yon, hindi yon on the spot, but it improves the quality of service. It improves the quality of our people, no, the time of our people, na they have the family time, they can go home and kung anong oras yung after the work, no? Before, parating may overtime or overtime just to
Mhm.
finish the work.
Mhm.
So, maraming factor that areas. So, yun, one of the HR activity then and monitoring is the work, the quality of their job, the quality life of our team. So those factors or areas tinitingnan din namin and how we can also develop and help our people aside from building the business, doing it the right way.
Mhm.
So without additional cost, savings, especially pandemic, no? By the way, nung pandemic, it really saves us. We go live before the pandemic.
Mhm.
So, end of 2019. So nung nag-pandemic, hindi masyado naapektuhan yung operations ng first company namin kasi nga naka-system na. And the IT automatically, okay, the system is accessible anytime, anywhere, blah, 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 blah. So we implemented everything and monitored online.
Mhm.
So all concerns of our customers, kung may erase sila, tawag, whatever, na-address namin online since accessible yung information. So with the current situation natin ngayon, very important talaga yung um, accessibility that we can deliver, do our job anytime, anywhere. But of course, we need to consider also the quality of life of our people, our team.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Sir
yeah.
Chris. But in the
You're
interest of time, I
welcome.
think, yeah, we will entertain one more question. This is also from one of our guests. I think this is for no for Shine. Besides unlimited user, any other advantages versus other ERPs? So I think I'd like to believe our audience would like to compare more their current ERPs versus also Acumatica. Shine, would you like to elaborate further?
Yeah, sure, Jason. Happy to. It's a very, very good question. So, most companies will always want to evaluate multiple solutions, right? Before deciding on anything. It doesn't apply just to ERP. It's anything that you buy, you always want to compare. And it's a very good, relevant question here. One of the, in addition to the unlimited users, Acumedica's strength lies in, like what I mentioned earlier, our industry-based focus. When we think about industry-based focus, which means we are going deep diving into it, we know the ins and out of the industry. We are adding more and more features relevant to it. As compared to any other ERP, it's very, very different. Uh, the example, case in point being here, why did Axeltech develop an ISV product in Acumatica and no other ERP? The reason is because of our construction edition, which ties seamlessly to the roadmap of real estate dimensions as a product. Which, if you think about it, if you go to another ERP, it's not possible because most of the ERPs don't have some solution for construction. So there's a big, gap there. And not only that, when it comes to having industry solutions, as an organization, you might not be just doing one type of business. You might have multiple lines of businesses in your organization. One of the big example would be a customer we have in the Philippines is they are a construction company. Also, they have a manufacturing entity as well. If you do a generic ERP, you won't be able to address both. You're stuck with one or the other. It's not possible to have both. Acumedica's beauty is that the customer, the company, is actually using Acumedica for both the construction company and they're using the same solution to manage their manufacturing industry because we have both editions. Both the solutions are there, both the modules relevant to the different industries are there. We are tenant based. We are actually a multi-tenant based architecture in Acumatica where one tenant is catered for the construction company, the other tenant is for the manufacturing one. Both the data is separated out, multiple users can access. The group CFO or the CEO of the company can see a consolidated view of both the entities or both the different, even though they are two different industries. A CEO of the group can always see a visibility from the top down, rather than breaking down into different details. He or she can see the overall picture because it doesn't matter because it's all sitting in the same solution. This is where it comes up. Scalability is a key aspect of Acumatica, where we have seen that a lot of companies who bought Acumatica, they didn't just stop there. They just kept adding more modules based on their business requirement, adding more industry solutions based on their business growth, and this scalability does not stop. And the good thing is as well about adding more features during upgrades. Acumatica has two major releases per year. R1 release one in March and R2, which is release two in September, October. These two releases comes with a massive number of features and functionality where a company, an organization who is subscribing, renewing every year with Acumatica as a solution can adopt that, can utilize that for their business requirements. So in a nutshell, it's scalability. As a company, that is what you should be looking at. How scalable can a solution be? And this is where Acumatica ranks very high when you compare to any other ERP.
Thank you very much, Shine. It looks like we will not be able to cover all the questions. So, but we promise that we will email you. So please contact us at marketing@infosoft.com.ph for if you have any more questions, or please do not hesitate to get in touch with any of our Infosoft consultants. So right now, I would like to thank Mr. Shine Matthews and also our speaker, Mr. Chris Patong, for a very informative lecture. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. You may also would like to visit our social network via Facebook and LinkedIn, Infosoft Consulting Corporation. So that concludes our Lunch and Learn event for today. So thank you, everyone, and we appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you, guys.